Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to the show. Just me tonight. I'm recording this shortly after the Lakers got a win in overtime against the Mavericks in Dallas. As you can see through the screen share here, it was an overtime win, and Austin Reaves got a fucking game winner. The undrafted rookie who fits really well throughout all our team, and it's kind of crazy because he's undrafted, playing next to all these Hall of Famers, was the guy who played really fucking well tonight, and he ended up getting a game winner in overtime. Lakers win 107-104. So leading up to this game, we knew the Mavericks weren't going to be playing with Doncic, and we had all our stars. So you'd think that it'd be you'd think that we'd stomp them. But if you've been watching the team this year, you know that never goes according to plan. Now, granted, we were missing Dwight, THT, and Malik Monk. They're all out because of COVID protocols. But honestly, these close games don't exactly bother me that much because I just know the big hurdle that we have to climb up. We have three stars that don't exactly fit very well. We've had guys in and out of the lineup. We've had changing lines because of injuries. I just care that we got the win. Honestly, that's just the stage we're at. People have been in and out of the lineup. And like I said, our stars don't naturally mesh. If it's going to work, it's going to take a little bit of time to work. But there were some bright spots in this game. Russ had a pretty good first quarter. The Lakers are doing a great job of opening up the paint for him. And basically, they were setting screens really high. Almost at actually one screen they set up at half court with DeAndre. Stuff like that ended up giving Russ a full head of steam going into the paint. And when you set him up like that, he is almost guaranteed to do something really good. Also, if you keep the paint open. But the Mavs kind of caught on to that in the second quarter. But we got that really good first quarter from Russ. It felt like we could have been on our way to a blowout, but it was pretty clear by the second quarter that wasn't going to happen. Just a little through the second quarter, you can see the game flow right here. The Lakers lose it. That's usually how things go. Same kind of Jekyll and Hyde stuff with the Lakers, but Anthony Davis in particular was having a pretty rough time. He threw up some really nasty air balls, and I think seeing the ball go that off kind of rattled him. He had two or three of them actually. You know, he has his shooting struggles this year. He's not getting as many calls in the paint because of the rule change, but also I don't think they ref him very well. But you can see him getting visibly upset with himself after timeouts. It all kind of made me start to weigh the mental side of AD's struggles this year. You know, physical things like his changing body type, more muscle mass, in his shoulders that he added on to play center. That can all play a part too. But I think that it could all be compounded by the mental state that he's in. He did slightly adjust his shot when it has been going through. And we've seen this in a couple games where his offense is bad. He'll focus more on defense. He did have one fuck up at the end, though, where he doubled a guy who was driving. And the guy, LeBron, was actually guarding him. Guy drives to the paint. AD is on the three-point line. He doubles him, which leaves Max Kleba open at the end for a bank shot to tie it up. That didn't go so well, but I kind of forgive AD because all the great defensive sequences that we've seen from him, game winning defensive plays, he can be such a force on that end. And I'm kind of willing to overlook that. He's out there night in, night out doing a little more than's asked of him on the defensive end because of the quality of our defensive players, basically. But despite the seemingly crappy game from AD, he did finish with plus, where is he? Looking at the stats right now. AD finished with plus 21, which is far and away the highest on our team. So the plus minus is a little deceptive here. That's why I kind of like looking at it, keeping an eye on it. You'd think AD was having this really god-awful game, and he kind of was offensively, but he was still holding it down. Basically, what that means is his team didn't really give up the lead that much when he was on the floor. He kept it high in the plus-minus department. LeBron was actually -6, although I thought he did pretty well tonight. LeBron finishes with 24, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, a steal. But he finishes with a -6 there, so that was kind of surprising. AD did a really good job, I think, just keeping us afloat. He started prioritizing rebounding a little more. I think he kind of cracked it down on defense, except for that play at the end. But the offense continues to be a struggle. And we all know if we don't get championship level AD, the team isn't going anywhere. Kind of like last year, the conversation was if we didn't get AD or if we didn't get healthy LeBron, the team still isn't going anywhere, So that's something to think about a little further down the line. I was happy with the way that AD kind of stayed in the game. I hope that his offensive struggles, get turned around. So plus 21 for him. That's great. -6, again, surprising for LeBron. Looking at the Mavs, though, who was really killing us was, where is he? Jalen Brunson. He finishes with 25. Kleber, he had that big shot at the end, but Tim Hardaway Jr. had 20. It was really Tim Hardaway and it was Brunson. They were really the ones bringing it to us tonight. There was a lot of times where I thought the Lakers were going to just let the Mavs steamroll them. We were letting them take really easy shots, and it felt like 10 or so moments where I kept saying to myself, I can't believe we're not down 10 right now. The Mavs just weren't hitting their open shots. Brunson, Tim Hardaway Jr., Porzingis at the end, they're really the main culprits for them. They power their offense. Brunson is good, but it's still annoying seeing him, a non-star, go off against the Lakers, because there is always that one guy who always goes off. Tonight it was Brunson, but we got the win, so that makes that sting a little less. Not at all, actually. If we get the win, then who cares? On to the next one. But once again, man, shout out Austin Reaves, who got the game-winning 3 at the end for us. He got assisted by Westbrook, and also shout out Wayne Ellington. He's the one who got the 3 to tie it heading into overtime. So Wayne Ellington ties it on a wild 3. This is right after he shoots an air ball, too. A lot of shitty air balls tonight between him and AD. 9 points on the night, 3 steals, some really good defense by Ellington tonight. I think his defense is kind of coming along. Interested to hear what you think in the comments or whatnot, because I think Ellington, he kind of struck me as a guy that is his offense going to outweigh his defense. I mean, Miami did not want to sign him after all. But the last few weeks, I've really come around on him. You're not going to get amazing defense every possession to possession, sorry. But I think under Frank and the guidance of even someone like Phil Handy, who took Kuzma's defense up a notch, I think we can get to a point with Ellington where he's good enough. And we already know the 3 is there. So even if he's not on fire, the defense still has to guard him, which keeps the floor open for Braun, AD, and Westbrook. So thanks, Wayne, for another solid outing, man. Yeah, Braun was his usual self. His defense wasn't fantastic tonight, and he was really a big part of the reason why the Mavs were getting back in that second. Same with Westbrook. His defense wasn't the greatest. The Mavs are really the ones controlling the whole game. See right here, looking at this game flow chart, middle of the second, they get the lead back. They cut away. They cut away at our lead very quickly. They kind of get a little stranglehold in the third, and then we get it back. And then the fourth was really all them until we kind of rallied at the end. But back to Austin Reaves, man. He's got that Caruso effect for our team, and you can't help but compare him because he's a young white guy and he tries his ass off on defense. But I think that's the exact kind of guy we need, which is such a bummer why we didn't keep Caruso. He's a low mistake, high effort player on a team where the inverse is very prevalent. But it's fun to compare Reaves and Caruso, man. Alex was a defensive force with hops for days. Solid 3 if he was feeling it. They're about the same height. Alex has a little more muscle, but he has all that big game experience of an NBA Finals run. When he was on the Lakers, he could kind of run the offense, but it wasn't his main strength. It was really point of attack defense, fighting through screens, hustle plays. That was Alex's main thing. Offense was kind of secondary with Alex. Austin, on the other hand, probably has an even stronger offensive skill set than Alex does right now. Now, granted, I haven't seen a whole lot of Caruso play in Chicago, but I do think his game is pretty much very similar. Austin's got some moves, though. He's being used as a spot-up guy, but even in the game winner, he was a spot-up guy, slightly drifting towards the top of the arc. But we've seen Reaves pull off some, really tough jumpers, spinning fadeaways. He did that like a couple of games ago. Really good to see Reaves get 30 minutes tonight. He's getting a lot of minutes early this year. Then he hurt his hamstring, and Frank has been hesitant on bringing him back fully into the lineup. Well, Frank, it's pretty much fucking time, man. It was apparent after our first game that we need Reaves' skill set. We need his effort. And Reaves is always willing to give it. We need to ride him out as much as we can, in my opinion. We need to give him as much NBA experience as possible. We need to just give him as many reps with the stars as possible, because it's all going to come down to reps. That's why teams like Phoenix and the other teams like Giannis, like the Bucks, that's why teams like that made it so far last year, because they had that continuity. And that's still a big theme this year. I can't believe he's just an undrafted rookie, man, but he's that good. He fits into our team, and it's great to see him have a successful night and be the hero of the night like this. His defense, his efforts, 3-point shooting, and even his facilitation. He had a really nasty pass to Westbrook. Ended up getting blocked by Porzingis, but you see the little flashes with Reaves. I hope he's going to be with us for a long time, but you know how things go with us. He may end up just being a trade chip, maybe not this season, or, maybe we'll give him a contract, but I hope he stays with us as long as possible. I had a good feeling about Caruso, and I got another good one about Reaves. He's like Caruso. I think he can get to Caruso's level of defense, but he's already further ahead than Alex in terms of his offense. So the Lakers scouting department might have done it again. They might have found another gem for us, man. But yeah, congrats Reaves, congrats Lakers. I don't care that Luka wasn't there. We just need to get the wins, and we need to have continuity. And we got that tonight. We got the win. We built continuity, got the win on the road. I'm happy with tonight. So yeah, that was a short one, but thanks for tuning into the show today. That's all I got for now. Go Lake Show. Happy for Austin Reaves, and I'll see you next time.